Hi there! In this video, I'm demonstrating the drawing procedure using these copic markers. My motif this time is the Volkswagen Bug. As you can see, I finished the line drawing already, so now I'm moving on to the colors. Here I go! Alright, let's get started. The body color of this car is yellow. I am using several yellow markers to express the reflective surface of the car. The first yellow is Y15. This is the main yellow I use for this car. On the shadow side, I blend Y15 and YR23. When blending the markers, it's ideal to fill in the dark areas first and then use the lighter version of the same color for blending. I stop coloring in the Y15 yellow just slightly before reaching the shadow areas. This way I can blend the tones easily without leaving no marker marks. Once the shadow areas are all filled in with YR23, I am going back to the front foot and the roof areas to reinforce the feel of reflections. I'm going back to back between Y15 and YR23 so the tones are nice and soft. Y00 and Y02 are also effective for softening. If you wish, you can always use the number 0 clear blender for blending the tones. I use the lighter version of the shadow colors in most cases, and I use the clear blender only on the extreme light areas. Once the yellow areas are all filled in, it's the time to start toning the metallic areas. I use the C3 cold gray first to block in the basic tones. When you see chrome bumpers, fenders, and/or exhaust pipes, keep in mind these three things. 1. What you see there is the environment around you. The top half usually is the sky, and the bottom half usually is the ground and what's on the ground. This means the top half usually is light and blue in most cases, and the bottom half usually is dark and gray. And secondly, because a surface like this chrome bumper is round, what you see there is warped and distorted. It may appear abstract, so observe the colors carefully to express the reflective images. And lastly, reflections are always darker than the actual environment. For example, you see some sky and trees on the wheel's hubcover, but they are darker than the actual sky and trees. With these three things in mind, let's first block in the light and shadow areas, or you can even call them sky and ground areas, with the medium gray, and then gradually push the contrast just like I did to the body of the car. Alright, let's start pushing the contrast. The colors I'm using for this step is mainly YR23, E57 and C7. E57 is the brown, C7 is the dark gray. I'm continuing to use the colors such as Y15 and C3 for blending. It's always good to have the light colors handy anyway. Let's go over all areas with the medium dark markers to push the level of contrast. You may apply the same colors twice to go slightly darker, so that's something you may want to consider when pushing the contrast. There also are some tree reflections on the bumpers and hub covers, so I use green and brown markers whenever necessary. The green marker I use is YG23. Let's use it in combination with yellows, browns, and grays. Greens in nature should always be rendered with some earth tones. I am not using the yellow ochre marker for this particular drawing, but you may certainly use it if you have one. Once the wheel is rendered, I am now starting to give tones to the tires. We all know that automobile tires are black. It's obvious. This means we can use gray and black markers to express the round form of the tire. I, however, decided to use the brown marker before using grays and black because the colors often appear richer when two different colors are layered over another. Right now, I'm using the oil-based marker to indicate the tire treads. By using the oil-based marker, it won't be blended into the water-based markers. Once the treads are drawn in, I use a dark gray marker, which is C7 marker, on the dark areas, and then I use the medium gray marker, which is C3 marker, to blend the brown and black areas. You can see the brown I used first is a bit too strong, but the gray layers neutralize the tire colors at the end. Black markers should then be used for the extreme dark areas, and I use the gray markers once again to soften the tones. This goes to the cast shadows under the car also. I once again start with the dark areas first, and then I use the gray markers to make them soft. If the gradient didn't turn out soft and smooth, you may be able to do this several times until you get the soft gradient you want. Once the cast shadow is filled in, I'm pretty much done with the drawing. Alright, I'm pretty much done here, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching! and I hope to see you again soon.